Hi friends, this is Valeria here, and I wanted to share with you my first journal experience. This here is my first journal, and I tried to keep it low budget because I didn't know if I was gonna commit to the whole thing, but I have found this experience really interesting, and that provides me with something very nice to do and to keep my mind busy in. So for this very first journal, I used a pad that I had, and as you can see, it's getting bigger and bigger. Probably the best idea would have been to create my own journal, so I would have a bigger spine to be able to fit everything in there. But as I said, I wanted to try out to see how committed I was going to be to this whole experience. So I used this pad, and it comes divided into sections. One is with the brown paper and the white paper. I haven't used the white paper yet, and probably when I get to there, it's going to be completely huge. But since it's the first experience, I'm gonna go for it. So what I did is I put some brown paper on top of it just to make it a little bit the cover a little bit thicker and strong, because it was a regular pad. So then I decided to cut a window, and I put some shiny trim in there, and I had an old piece of clothing there with this little bird, and I wanted to portray my favorite window in the house. So I used the bird because that's what I see when I look through that window. So I also cut some flowers from that piece of cloth, and I put it there with some lace that I had, that it was given to me. So this is still a page that is under construction, because I want to add there things that they show up while I'm making the spreads that I want to add in there, and it has to be really with me. And I think probably the birds and flowers, that's what I get inspiration from. But I pasted this bird, and then I put some papers, and I wanted to add this here. This is some petals from my roses from my garden. I'm very proud of them, and I wanted to include them in my journal. And then I had a first tryout in my whole life with stamps, which probably I didn't do a very good job. My name was not so clear, but I was happy that I got to use them, because I had never used them before. So I was kind of playing around, and as I said, this is this spread here is under construction. And then we have the first spread, which I'm not very proud of, but this is the first one that I got to play with, and it was about summer. And I wanted to feel the texture of the paper and how it felt to put things one picture on top of the other. That's something that I'm not used to, and I feel not so good, and I think I have to overcome that, to put one picture or one paper on top of the other. So this one, because it was summer when I started it, I tried to just have a feel of how it was gonna be like. So this is probably the not the most beautiful spread in this journal trip that I'm having. But so this here I included a picture of my parents and me in my first summer at the beach. This picture was taken in Argentina, and I was probably 8 months old. So I used the back of the picture to journal a little bit, and then I included here a list of things that I did for the first time at the beach. For example, I learned to walk there. I included some ice cream paper in there, and I also tried to use washi. I had never used washi in my life. I didn't know for what it was used until I discovered journaling. And then I tried painting, and that was the first time I tried to do it. It was a complete failure. I'm not very proud of it, but it went better as I went on with the journal. But some things I learned is, the ink bleeds a little bit, especially the blue one that I have. But as I said, this one was kind of a tryout to see how I would feel with the paper and the journaling and cutting things and putting them together. I used a ribbon here and more stickers, and it was a good try. I think because I started having the feeling of how it was gonna be and if it was something that I was gonna like. And definitely I kept on working on the journal, and I think it got better and better. So I will show you the second spread in the next video. So I hope if you like this, you make a comment or you put a like in there. I'm not, as I said, this is the first experience that I have journaling, and I'm not trying to teach or give advice to anybody by any means. This is just sharing how my experience is going and how much I'm enjoying it, and I hope that somebody else that is thinking about it gets inspired.